Did you know that the man reshaping the Middle East can play basketball better than most professional athletes? That he's basically a tech genius who predicted the AI revolution years ago. And here's the wild part, he personally supervised the biggest economic transformation of the 21st century while working 18-hour days today. We're revealing 8 shocking talents of Crown Prince Mohammed Bin Salman that most people have absolutely no idea about. These aren't just random skills, they're the hidden weapons that made him one of the most influential leaders on the planet stick around, because talent number 4 literally changed how we think about economics. Let's start with something that will absolutely blow your mind. When Mohammed bin Salman took control, everyone thought Saudi Arabia had one future: oil, oil, and more oil. But this guy had a different idea. In 2016, he unveiled Vision 2030, and honestly, it's not just a plan, it's a masterpiece of strategic thinking. Think about this for a second. He looked at a $3 trillion economy completely dependent on one resource and said, nope, we're changing everything. And he didn't just talk about it. By 2024, 85% of Vision 2030 initiatives were either completed or on track. That's not a coincidence. That's precision planning at the highest level. What makes this talent so incredible is that he didn't just dream big, he executed, he created specific targets. Female workforce participation, he aimed for 30%. They hit 36.2%. Unemployment, he wanted it at 7%. He crushed that too. This is the talent of someone who doesn't just see the future, he builds it. Talent number 2, lightning fast decision making under pressure. Here's where things get really interesting. When King Salman took the throne in 2015, the kingdom was in crisis mode. The oil price had crashed. Things were chaotic. Mohammed bin Salman had to act fast. In just the first 12 hours of his father becoming king, this guy issued major decisions. In the first 10 days, the entire government was restructured. I'm talking about dismantling more than a dozen councils and consolidating them into 2 powerful new bodies. One for economy, one for security. That's not luck, that's genius level decision making. What makes this talent special is that he doesn't hesitate. His advisors say he consistently chooses action over caution. He believes that the risk of doing nothing is way bigger than the risk of doing something. And if he makes a mistake, he corrects it fast. That's the talent of a leader who moves at the speed of reality, not the speed of bureaucracy. Talent number 3, business acumen that started as a kid. Most people don't realize this, but Mohammed bin Salman's business talent didn't start when he became crown prince. This goes way back. By the time he was 16 years old, this guy was trading stocks. His family gave him gold coins and watches as gifts, and instead of keeping them, he invested them. He was running real estate deals. He launched businesses in waste management. While other kids were playing video games, he was learning commerce. This early entrepreneurial drive gave him something invaluable, a hands-on understanding of how business actually works. When he later took charge of Saudi Arabia's economy, he wasn't working from theory, he was working from real experience. He knew what it took to build something from nothing, and that experience, it shaped every economic decision he made. Talent number 4, innovation architecture. This is the mind bender. Okay, this is where it gets absolutely crazy. Mohammed bin Salman didn't just recognize that Saudi Arabia needed innovation, he architected an entire innovation ecosystem. In 2022, he announced the kingdom would invest 2.5% of GDP in research and development by 2040. That's around $16 billion a year. He created the Supreme Committee for Research, Development, and Innovation and actually put himself as chairman. That's not delegating, that's total ownership. But here's the genius part. He identified 4 priority areas: health and wellness, sustainable environment and supply of essential needs, energy and industrial leadership, and economies of the future. He didn't just throw money at random projects. He created a roadmap for innovation that would add 60 billion Saudi riyals to the economy by 2040 while creating high-value jobs. And recently, in 2025, he launched Humane, an AI company developing some of the world's most powerful multilingual AI models. This guy is literally building the future of artificial intelligence. That's not a coincidence. That's intentional innovation strategy. Talent number 5, economic transformation and diversification mastery. Here's a number that will shock you. Saudi Arabia went from a GDP almost entirely dependent on oil to attracting 660 international companies to establish their regional headquarters. That's not a small achievement. That's fundamental economic restructuring. Mohammed bin Salman orchestrated this by completely changing how Saudi Arabia competes globally. He understood something crucial. You can't compete on oil forever, so he diversified like a master. He brought in tourism, entertainment, technology finance, pharmaceuticals. The kingdom's digital economy is now growing 3 times faster than the global average. That's not random. That's the result of intentional strategy and relentless execution. He positioned Saudi Arabia not as a one-trick economy, but as a diversified powerhouse. That's the talent of someone who understands competitive economics at a world-class level. Talent number 6, team leadership and talent selection genius. This one often goes unnoticed, but it's massive. Mohammed bin Salman has an incredible talent for building and leading teams. His advisors and officials aren't just randomly picked, they're strategically chosen. He has a philosophy about leadership that's pretty brilliant. He believes in assigning the right person to the right position based on skills and capabilities, not connections or politics. That sounds simple, but in Saudi Arabia's royal system, that's revolutionary. He also has the talent for direct oversight. He's personally involved in the major operations of state institutions. He's not a hands-off leader, he's a micromanager in the best way, the kind that ensures quality and execution. His team knows exactly what's expected and they deliver. This talent is why his initiatives actually get implemented. It's not just good ideas, it's the right people executing at the highest level. Talent number 7, personal discipline and extreme work ethic mastery. Okay, this is where Mohammed bin Salman becomes almost superhuman. From 2009 until 2018, he barely took a weekend off. I'm talking about working 7 days a week for almost a decade. When he finally started taking weekends in 2018, it was specifically because, and this is his exact quote, "Good people, good governments, and good plans were established. I had just normal daily work. Without that weekend vacation, I was going to collapse." But here's the talent part. Despite this insane work schedule, he maintains peak physical condition. On weekends, he does cardio for an hour and a half and he plays basketball instead of soccer because he says soccer has a higher injury risk. He's calculated even his exercise. He also limits his media consumption to roughly 50 minutes a day, even though he runs a country. He doesn't waste time. He's optimized his entire life for maximum productivity and impact. Talent number 8, visionary communication and global influence. The last talent is something most people miss. Mohammed bin Salman has an incredible ability to communicate his vision globally and make the world believe in it. He's given interviews to major outlets like The Atlantic. He's met with world leaders who hang on his words. He's convinced foreign investors to pour hundreds of billions into mega projects like Neom, a $500 billion futuristic city. That's not just confidence. That's rhetorical genius combined with credibility. What makes this talent special is that he doesn't just talk. He backs it up with execution. When he promised Neom would be finished, people had reason to believe him because he'd already delivered on Vision 2030 targets. When he says Saudi Arabia will become a tech hub, people listen because he's already launched Humane. He's basically mastered the art of making big promises and keeping them, which gives him unmatched global influence. So there you have it, 8 hidden talents of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman that literally reshape how we understand leadership and economic transformation. Whether you agree with all his decisions or not, you have to respect the talent, the discipline, and the vision. This is a guy who saw an economy dependent on one resource and completely transformed it. He built mega cities, he brought women into the workforce, he positioned a country in the heart of the Middle East to compete with tech giants. Here's what's truly amazing. He's doing this in real time. These projects are happening right now. In the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see results that will either confirm he's a genius or prove he's betting too big. Either way, it's one of the most important stories unfolding on the global stage. Don't miss what happens next. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you get updates on how this vision evolves. Comment down below, do you think Mohammed bin Salman's vision will work? Is he a visionary or a gambler? Let me know your thoughts.